What's up? What's going on with y'all? How y'all doing today? So, it's okay to be picky, to take your time choosing what you want. It's easier when you get into a mess than it is to get out of one. Think first. Make sure you get it right. Make sure you get what you want. Some people are like, oh, you so picky and you this, that, and the third. Man, listen. First time I really got a grasp of what that meant. Well, I ain't gonna say I got a grasp of it, but I met somebody who mentioned that young person. A guy I grew up with, good old Johnny Bop. We was looking at some girls and stuff, and I was like, yo, why don't you mess with her? Why don't you get with her? He said, man, she not my type. Bro, we not even 13 years old. We not even 13 years old. And this man talking about, oh, she not my type. And I'm thinking, like, okay. And I say, well, we get in a discussion about it. He says, man, I'm picky. Gotta be picky. And I'm thinking to myself, like, picky, like, what does that mean? I don't remember if we went into detail, but I knew that, you're not gonna choose the first thing that come around. You're gonna wait for something else. Basically, that's what I knew. But now it's a bigger picture. I remember living in North Carolina, and I had a friend, fine ass lady, young chick. And we used to always go out to the club. Me, her friend, my homeboy. We used to always go to the club and kick it. We used to always hang out. We used to always listen to new music. We'd always get mixtapes, and we'd listen to new music. We'd get high, just vibe out. And when we went to the clubs, these dudes was trying to get, because I tried to holler at her first. All right. I tried to holler at her first. Something was weird. Didn't work out. But she said that the situation that she was in, she could have been friend. It won't the right time for me and her to be together. I'm like, okay. But she kept it a buck, because every time we went somewhere, it was dudes trying to holler at her. And she was just like, I was like, yo, tell me why you won't rock with that dude? Why you won't rock with him? Well, I could see this in him, and I could see that. And just because this man, appears to be something, he might not be that person. And I'm not really gonna jump on the bandwagon. Besides, he didn't give me that type of vibe like I was interested in him. So her vibe was she was picky. And once again, it was like, you got to realize when people are making decisions, nobody thinks like you. Nobody has the same mindset as you. So you have to at least ask questions if you can't figure it out on your own just by observing. And it's those things stuck with me when I was like, even when I was in the military, I had a guy, this dude we would go to the club, we would do this, we would do that, man. He was like, man, I got a girl at home, and it wasn't like it was steady, and it was kind of shaky, but he never lost sight of this woman. And so I can remember him getting himself together, me watching this man build. Every now and then I would see him, and he had leveled up one step. I met his girlfriend, and then they had got married. Saw him again, she was pregnant. Saw him again, he had a new car, because he had when they first came out, he had a Honda Civic hatchback. It was purple with like a pearlescent paint job on. That thing was nice. And then I saw when he put rims on it, had his little girlfriend and everything. She was pregnant. And then I saw him again. He had a Jetta when they first came out. That was like 97, 98, brand new. He had rims on that one, but they were different. That junk was hot. And he had the baby, then his wife was pregnant with another baby. So I watched this dude level up. He knew what he was getting into. He knew what he was getting into. He had to have good backing, people standing behind him that he trusted to say, hey, this is what I think you should do, but remember, it's always your choice. You the one got to pull the trigger on that. And we can't make decisions by ourselves. That's why big companies have board of directors. That's why there's a man and wife. That's why there's a team. That's why there's more than one coach. There's always one person ahead of everything that gets the final say so. But at the same time, they're taking advice and criticism from those, that are associated with them in order to make the best decision for the whole group. But you have to be picky. You have to be picky. You can't just jump in there and say, I'm going to take this, I'm going to do that. When you go shopping, when you shopping and you shopping for anything, when you looking for a spouse, when you are trying to figure out, your direction that your life is taking, you got to be picky. Like, how do I want to live? You got to know the proper questions to ask yourself. How do I want to live? Where do I want to live? And then you work to that goal. But being picky is okay. You can't really settle. You can't afford to settle because you're not going to be happy. You got people that working at McDonald's for years and years and years and are comfortable, drive nice cars, and they not even managers, right? And that's their sole job. But they know how to tiptoe around things, not illegally, but they know how to tiptoe around things and get the things that they want and still be comfortable and still be happy. A lot of us don't know how to do that. We don't. But then again, we don't know that other person's life. But back to what I'm saying, being picky. Know what you want out of life and don't settle. Okay? Picky describes someone very careful, fussy, or hard to please when choosing, often implying that they only like narrow range of options, like a picky eater. And it can be used disapprovingly for someone overly particular or difficult over small details. Synonyms include choosy, finicky, and fussy, with the term often suggesting someone is overly demanding or meticulous about details, not considered important by others. You think about Michael Jackson. If you ever watched Michael Jackson's This Is It, it shows you what type of person that man was when it came down to how he presented himself and his show and his product. All those involved had to be on board or they couldn't be on board. You feel me? He knew exactly how he wanted things to turn out. And we have to be like that. You can't waste time and baby somebody because they're not on board with your program. You can't. You have to be firm with yourself first about what you want and stick to it. You can't deter from what it is, that you got in your mind. You have to make, real life precise decisions, and people don't understand that. And some people do it naturally, but then some folks like, man, you too picky. No, if you got to wait on me, then I'm picky. Right? But if I gotta wait on you, then you take your time. I want you to be happy. I want you to be comfortable with the decision you're about to make. So aspects are careful selection, hard to please, overly detailed. When you are overly detailed, like Howard Hughes, if you ever seen the movie The Aviator, when Leonardo DiCaprio, he played the character, he had the guy build him a special plane. He was like, they built the plane, he came out, he examined it. He touched it, put his hand on it, every aspect of this plane. And then he would say, this, and this, it should be like this. And they'd be like, okay, I'll be back. He come back later, they rebuilt it, they made the changes, he come back, he check over those changes, this, and this need to change. And they'll say, well, it's almost impossible to get this like this. He say, well, that's what I want. Let me know when it's done. And so he had the money. But he wasn't an asshole. He knew what he wanted. And he said he had that much faith in those people that was working for him that y'all can do it. He literally, in that moment, him being so picky, he probably pushed those people to challenge themselves to do better. So it works when a person is picky and they determine it kind of can work for the whole camp. You know what I'm saying? If you got brains in your head. And you be like, oh, this is impossible. That person will go to somebody else and say, hey, man, this is what my boss trying to get me to do. We've already done this. How can we make this better? You just keep that. You can go outside, your circle and ask questions when you're given a task. It doesn't hurt to do that. But Howard Hughes being picky, your boss or whoever can push you to be a better person. Dig down inside to pull out something and like, yo, I ain't know I could do that. So being picky is not a bad thing. Being picky can be beneficial to the whole team. It can be a wonderful thing to the individual, because that person, I got a coworker, he's looking for a specific type of Corvette and a specific type of some other kind of car. And he's like, he said, man, I found what I was looking for, but it had black interior. I'm like, bro, you tripping. Why is you tripping if it's got black interior? I don't trip it because I like black interior on a vehicle. None of my cars have black interior, but I would be happy with all black interior because you can see the blemishes. It's easy to clean. And that's probably the reason why I was like, well, why are you tripping? Like, it's the car that you want. It was the same paint job. And he was like, it was the rims or this, that, and the third. He said that when he buys this car, when he finally finds the Corvette that he wants with the right miles and everything, he said, I don't want to have to put any more money into it that I'm already getting ready to spend to obtain it. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. He's a frugal guy. He don't like, he's retired, so he really don't have to work with me. But at the same time, ain't no need. Don't care if you retired or you got billions. Ain't no need to throw money in the trash. A lot of people, they really that's why billionaires are billionaires. Think about it. So be picky all you want. Be picky all you want, because at the end of the day, what you have at the end result is what you wanted. It's exactly what you wanted. And for those who don't like picky people, think about this. Whenever you go to order fast food and they put those pickles or they put that mustard on your sandwich that you don't like, you throw the biggest fit when your food ain't made right, your fries cold, or they don't have no salt on them. You will stop what you're doing, get out your car, and take the whole bag in there and fuss. Demand your money back and some new food. Some of us. Some of you, I don't do that type of stuff. I make sure I'm clear about my instructions. But folks, those who do that type of stuff with the fast food, you'll understand what it means to be picky. And they probably didn't even know it. Get what you want out of life, man. Go ahead, be picky.